Decommissioned is the title of today's 6th episode of Star Wars The Bad Batch, airing on Disney+. So this week we don't go back to the CROSSHAIR plot, which I was totally expecting us to do, seeing as we've been absent for it for a long time. And yes, it's still my favorite plot that the show's brought forth, and I miss it a lot, but I gotta say, even though we didn't dive into that even more this week like I was hoping, this episode pleased me a lot better than last week's episode, so let's get into why. Well, first, let me give you a little rundown of what happened. Refresh your brain. It's pretty early in the morning of me recording this, not sure what hour this is coming out, but okay, I'll stop rambling. Let me recap a little bit, okay? So in last week's episode, Omega got herself a brand new shiny weapon that I suppose she's going to be mastering throughout the season. It's an energy bow, and at the opening part of this episode, we get to see her train with it with Echo. He's being influential in helping her master her skills with it, keep her focused, learn to keep distractions out of her mind, things of that nature. And hey, I gotta give a round of applause. I was gonna get onto the show for not really utilizing Tech and Echo as much this episode, which still stands. Let me get that out of the way early, but I do have to say, little moments like this for Echo in particular, I dig it, so I'll give you some brownie points for that. It's not long after this that Sid puts our Bad Batch on an assignment, which seems to be like it's going to be an ongoing thing. I don't know, I think we're going to open up the episode with Sid, and Sid will walk in and go, hey, here's your mission for the week, go have an awesome adventure, and make sure it's around 24 minutes. This week's mission, they have to retrieve a tactical droid. Yeah, they have to go get one. Very, very valuable, so it should be pretty simple, right? Go in, get it, get out. Yeah, no. Of course, hey, we need a full episode. There has to be some conflict, right? And the conflict in this episode was actually really surprising. We get the merging of two separate arcs from the final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars. That's right, the sisters from the second arc in season 7 of Star Wars The Clone Wars return. While I wasn't the biggest fan of their Clone Wars arc, I did end up liking the Martez sisters quite a bit, so it was kind of cool seeing them come back and reworked back into the world of Star Wars, and especially seeing them cross over with the Bad Batch, seeing as they were like back-to-back arcs in Star Wars The Clone Wars, but they never interacted before. This was pretty cool. But yeah, they're apparently here on assignment to retrieve the tactical droids as well, so of course they bring themselves on as an opposing force to the Bad Batch, and wacky antics ensue. They have to end up fighting each other, things of that nature. We have Omega thrust into battle, having to use her energy bow, which she doesn't fully know how to utilize yet in battle properly. So naturally, with that being the case, she kind of messes up. Well, actually, okay, it's not her fault fully. She's provoked, she's bumped into, drops the bow or whatever, and it blasts off into the wall, which kind of brings forth a whole bunch of disaster. And now we find ourselves in a ticking time bomb situation. So now the Bad Batch and the Martez sisters have to band together, put their differences aside if they want to live, They've got to get out of this place in one piece, hopefully. It's cool to see the characters play off of each other, even just within the established characters already, like Echo and Tech and Wrecker, Hunter, seeing all of their dialogue towards one another when out on the field and things like that. It was cool to see brought forth here. We've seen it in every single episode, but it's good to see that string continue moving forward. Their camaraderie out on the field isn't dropped, so that's good. That's a highlight. Speaking of highlights, by the way, okay, Wrecker, dude. Let's talk about Wrecker for a little bit, because I think there was a lot that went down with Wrecker, while at the same time, not much that went down with Wrecker that I really want to tackle though, because man, they really got me on that. Like, I was really expecting something big to happen by the end of this episode with him. Not really disappointed that nothing came from it, but I do think it was a little odd. But at the same time, they've kind of been, well, not to this extent. Okay, whatever. Let me dive into it. Let's talk about it. Record. Every single episode so far, there has been something, some highlight, some focus on this dude hitting his head, having a headache, having some reference towards him possibly going rogue, possibly turning to the dark side, following the path of your boy CROSSHAIR in, giving into the influence of Order 66. This episode, more than others, really drove it home though. There was like a lot of time spent on it. I won't say that they kind of lingered on it for a long scene or anything, but it was like to a point where he straight up just hits his head. He's assigned to do something, hits his head in the middle of doing it, and every time we like cut to the fight, then cut back to Wrecker, they're calling, hey, Wrecker, dude, are you there? Can you do the thing? Can you do the thing? And every time we cut back, he's on the ground like, he's out of it. He's out of it, dude. And this happens so many times to the point to where I'm like, dude, they're about to do it now. Like this whole thing about, oh, is he going to turn? Is he going to go bad? Like they really sell it that, oh yeah, last week, it was a chill episode. You had your moments here and there. The week before that, yeah, you got a cool little chase scene, whatever, but nothing too drastic within the core team that will make you go, oh my goodness, things are heating up. Nothing to the degree of the Crosshair plot. So here I am thinking, oh, we got 2 pretty chill weeks of episodes this week. They're going all in. We may not come back to Crosshair, but we're going to add on a plot that's just as intriguing, just as heavy with a Wrecker. That's what it looked like they were doing, but no, he does not turn in this episode. Like, okay, I kind of laughed. I don't think it was supposed to be funny or anything, but he was groaning and just laying there for so long that, you know, they pull like a twist on you, like, hi, you thought it was going to happen this episode. And the way that they do it, he's like groaning, like, then all of a sudden he gets up like, I'm good, let's do this. It's like, dude, you switched it that fast? I think the whole thing was like, oh yeah, he was able to conquer it and fight back, but I don't know, the quickness in which he did it kind of made me laugh. It's not a knock on the show or anything, that's just my weird sense of humor. Forget I said anything. Take that scene was powerful. More power to you. I sure hope I didn't miss any talking points, especially after lingering so long on a little joke that wasn't even a joke. But no, we had to talk about Wrecker, so I'm not gonna blame myself for that. No, that was a very key moment of the episode. So yeah, I'm patting myself on the back for that one. What did you guys think about that? I thought that was pretty cool that they, you know, tried to expand on the whole Wrecker thing. I thought it was neat. I mean, the ending of the episode, I think that's worth talking about. So the Martez sisters, when they get back on their ship, well, actually, first of all, before they do that, they kind of settle their differences with the Bad Batch a little bit morally, or at least that's how they try to present themselves. And when talking to Hunter, they're like, hey, we might start at one place, but at the end of the day, we each choose a side. You know, you got your side, we got our side. And you're thinking, or, you know, at least I was thinking, hey, you know, that's pretty cool. They're able to talk this out. They're understanding each other a little bit more, knowing that they each fall on a certain side, or maybe they even fall on the same side and don't even know it. Maybe they did know it, and it was supposed to be clear to the audience, and I just didn't pick up on that. But whatever the case may be, no, that wasn't the case. Because, or maybe it's not the case. Hey, it could be sneaky writing. Okay, I'm dumb. I'm trying to comprehend this, okay? Theories. Never mind. Let me just say what happened. I need to stop trying to theorize stuff. You're gonna have to excuse me, by the way. I had some coffee I think I'm hyped off the coffee. Here I go yawning. I say I'm hyped, now I'm yawning. I'm not tired. Anyway, my goodness, let's talk about the Bad Batch again. At the end of the episode, the Martez sisters, they're talking to someone. We don't see who this someone is. We get like a shoulder, perhaps a back, you know, a little snippet, because they want us to dig at it. They want us to theorize, and I'm not falling for the bait. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens because I don't want to be wrong. But anyway, they're talking to someone on the holo projector, and they're like, hey, we found a little batch of roguelike clone things, so, you know, we'll keep tabs on them. Like, we have the location, so if you need the info, I'll let your girl or whatever. Hey, we're here. And yeah, I mean, I think that was all of the highlights. Hey, feel free to beat me up in the comments if you want. I might have missed something, but I'm pretty sure those are all the talking points that I wanted to hit in my notes. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know, man. Oddly enough, this is one of the more, I don't know, I think this is one of more of my favorite episodes. I mean, obviously it's not at the top or anything like that. I mean, that's still reserved for episode 1 and the likes of 3. But still, you know, out of the like favorites and least favorites of the season, I think this leans more towards the favorites category. I don't know, oddly enough, even though we didn't get any of the Crosshair stuff, which is, you know, some of my favorite things that are going on in the series, I don't know, there was just something about it that I really enjoyed, whether it was the dynamic with the Martez sisters, whether it was Omega utilizing her weapon, you know, just little antics like that, the whole, you know, situation of the episode stemming from that. I don't know, it was fun. I just had a lot of fun with the episode. And even the whole Wrecker thing, like, normally there are things like that where it's something that's going to be so big, so influential to the plot. When you toy around with the audience like that, like, oh, is it gonna happen now? Is it gonna happen now? Like, they're not really playing it up for like, oh, what's happening to him? Because I think they're smart enough to know majority of the audience understands what's going on. We know what they're alluding to. So more so they just play with your emotions of like, oh, we know you don't want this to happen, so we're gonna dangle it right in front of your face until it happens. And honestly, I get frustrated at a lot of things when they try to mess around with that idea of toying with the audience for when a certain event is going to unfold. For example, Marvel's Spider-Man, the PS4, PS5 game. Well, it came out on the PS4 remaster for the PS5. That, whatever. I don't need to get into the details of that. We're not here to talk about that. But they do the whole thing with, spoiler alert, Dr. Octopus. You don't want to see Otto Octavius turn, but you know what's going to happen. They don't try to play it up for a mystery like, oh, who is this character? Is he going to go bad? No, they just straight up toy with your emotions until it happens. And there it worked pretty well, even though I don't like it in a lot of other things. The Bad Batch is handling it pretty well. I'm not annoyed, especially in this episode. It was more just like, oh, they're actually gonna pull this off, and when they didn't, I was like, so I wasn't fully expecting them to do anything with that at all anyway in this episode, but the fact that they, tried to make you think they did, I don't know, it was pretty fun. I had fun with it, I can't lie. You're sneaky, you sneaky little writers. I see you. But those are pretty much all of my thoughts. Hey, sound off in the comments below. What did you think of today's episode of The Bad Batch? Favorite? Not your favorite? Don't really care. Hey, whatever you feel, just comment it down below and we'll have a discussion about it. Also, any theories that you have about upcoming episodes, characters coming into the show, the revelations for some of these characters, I would like to hear that, because I've been seeing a lot of interesting stuff from other people talking on YouTube, having conversations of things that I completely didn't even think about. So if you have any of those, comment them down below as well. Make sure you get that engagement going, like the video, share it around with your friends. The more engagement, the better the things will be on this channel. Bigger audience, more views on it, bigger community to have fun, chat about all of our favorite things and things of that nature. And for more Bad Batch reviews every single Friday and all things geeky, good, and nostalgic, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss out. You've been awesome, I've been Geekly, and I'll catch you in the next Bad Batch review. May the Force be with you.